And unfortunately, I am with the majority here who thought that it wasn't the greatest game. Like, there wasn't that much effort that was shown on the court. This WNBA All-Star Weekend was my first in person. I felt like the players were so excited and happy to be there. They just didn't put that much effort on the court. And I also have to admit that I left during the third quarter. I just kind of couldn't take it anymore.
An abomination to the sport.
Kelsey Plum just ignite a full-blown civil war in the WNBA? What was supposed to be a feel-good press conference about unity suddenly turned explosive when Plum called out Caitlin Clark and her entire team for skipping a meeting, completely out of nowhere. But the real shock? Sitting right next to her was Sabrina Ionescu, one of Clark's closest allies. Her reaction was instant, cold, sharp, and absolutely brutal, without saying a word. That single moment exposed what fans have been whispering about for months: deep divisions, jealousy, and rising tension inside the league. And now, with the world finally watching, the WNBA isn't just battling for attention, it's fighting to hold itself together before everything blows up.
Powerful moment. We didn't, at least as players, we didn't know that was going to happen. So I think it was kind of like a genuine surprise, but the t-shirt, just united front was determined this morning, that we had a meeting for, and not to tattletale, but 0 members of Team Clark were very present for that.
Show of unity. WNBA players stepped onto the all-star court wearing bold black shirts with a clear demand: pay us what you owe us. It was a strong visual, organized, intentional, and meant to send a message of solidarity during tense negotiations for a new collective bargaining deal. But behind the scenes, that unity was hanging by a thread. And in front of cameras, fans, and the entire sports world, it was all about to fall apart in the most dramatic and public way possible.
Game in Indianapolis, she made quite a scene, bruh. This time, at the conclusion of the game, I was one of the first people to break the story about her actually making comments about Caitlin Clark's team not being at this meeting for the CBA negotiations. Now, we know the WNBA All-Stars came out with these t-shirts: pay us what you owe us.
During the post-game press conference, Las Vegas Aces star Kelsey Plum took the mic and completely flipped the script. After a quick mention of the morning meeting where the t-shirt protest was planned, she casually leaned forward, smirked, and said, not to tattletale, but none of Team Clark showed up for that. The room went silent. That one line wasn't just subtle shade. It was a direct, calculated dig at Caitlin Clark and her teammates, casting them as disengaged from the league-wide movement. In one moment, Plum turned a message of unity into a spotlight on division, and all eyes were suddenly on the growing cracks within the WNBA.
Nneka Ogwumike, Women's National Basketball Players Association President. Brianna Stewart, Vice President. And Nafisa Collier. All on opposing teams from Team Clark. How does it work out that the 3 biggest players in the Players Association had an idea about wearing a pay us what you owe us t-shirt, make this decision last minute that this is what the players will do? Team Clark somehow isn't present in the meeting that this will take place. You're telling...
What made the moment even more shocking wasn't just what Kelsey Plum said. It was who she said it in front of. Sitting just inches away was Sabrina Ionescu, a proud member of Team Clark and one of Caitlin's most loyal and outspoken supporters. This wasn't a shot fired at someone who wasn't there. This was a direct hit in front of a friend. And Sabrina's reaction? Instant, raw, and unforgettable. She didn't need words. Her face said it all. A look of stunned betrayal, followed by a dramatic eye roll that oozed disbelief and disgust. Within seconds, that moment went viral, and the entire world saw the cracks in what was supposed to be a united front.
I think it was kind of like a genuine surprise, but the t-shirt, just united front was determined this morning, that we had a meeting for, and not to tattletale, but 0 members of Team Clark were very present for that. But no, we were just we had a very
that really needed to be mentioned.
I'm trying to make a situation.
As Kelsey Plum let out a nervous laugh, trying to play off the uncomfortable silence she'd caused, Sabrina Ionescu calmly leaned into her own mic. She didn't raise her voice or start a fight. She hit back with quiet, razor-sharp sarcasm that cut deeper than any outburst could. The room was thick with tension, and in that one moment, Sabrina didn't just stand up for Caitlin Clark. She completely flipped the script. Her response exposed Plum's comment for what it truly was: petty, divisive, and stunningly unprofessional.
WNBA players, they get more unlikable every day. And the blatant jealousy, the blatant hatred towards Caitlin Clark is, I mean, it's obvious. They don't even try to hide it. We got Kelsey Plum talking about these pathetic shirts that they wore out onto the court. And I'm going to tell you, these players all put these shirts on. And like I said in a couple of previous videos, that backfire.
To understand why Plum's comment wasn't just petty, but completely self-sabotaging, you have to follow the money. The WNBA is, at its core, a business. And no player in its history has moved the needle like Caitlin Clark. The moment it was announced that Clark would miss the All-Star game due to a groin injury, the event's value nosedived. Ticket prices dropped, buzz disappeared, and the energy flatlined. The numbers don't lie. The league's biggest moneymaker was out, and the financial hit was immediate and painful.
Caitlin Clark, she was officially ruled out before all of these things, and look at the news that dropped. This is wild. WNBA All-Star Weekend is supposed to be the star of all stars. All the big dogs is out. Asia Wilson, Sabrina Ionescu, Brianna Stewart, everybody's out. The big dogs are out. You got Angel Reese, Miss Me Too. All of the stars are here. And look at this news. The get-in price for the WNBA All-Star Game in Indianapolis has dropped 48% from $121 to just $64 after news broke that Caitlin Clark won't be playing.
Before the announcement, tickets to the All-Star Game were going for an average of $121. But within just 24 hours of Caitlin Clark being ruled out, that number dropped to $64. That's a jaw-dropping 48% free fall, almost half the value wiped out overnight. This wasn't just a slight dip in demand, it was a total market crash, all because one player wasn't there. The message from fans couldn't have been clearer. Without Caitlin Clark, the All-Star Game just wasn't worth paying for.
Well, would you look at that? Prices for the WNBA All-Star Game have plummeted 49% after Caitlin Clark was ruled out due to injury, per ticket. I can't say that I'm surprised by this at all. I mean, no matter how much you love her or hate her, Caitlin Clark is the face of the WNBA. When she goes, the ratings go. Simply put.
The financial hit didn't end with ticket sales. It got even worse on TV. The ratings tell a brutal truth about just how vital Caitlin Clark is to the WNBA's survival and growth. National broadcasts without her see a staggering 55% drop in viewership. And when she's not playing for the Indiana Fever, the numbers nosedive from an average of 1.81 million viewers all the way down to just 847,000. That's not just a dip, it's a collapse. These aren't just stats. They're undeniable proof. Right now, Caitlin Clark is the WNBA's economy.